This is Day 13, Lecture 11. In this lecture, I want you to know how to find the derivative of a function given that function graphically, and then talk about what that derivative tells us about the graph. We're going to learn how to estimate the derivative if we're given a function. We're going to find out how to find that derivative as a function by given a formula. So the first thing I want to do is to go through example 1. Example 1 gives us a function called f at x, and we have specific points that we want to find the derivative for. We're going to find the derivative at when x is equal to 0, when x is equal to 1, 2, and 3. We are going to find those derivatives by drawing an approximation for the tangent line. So let's take a look and start. I have a ruler here. You won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to see what I draw. And I'm going to take that ruler and I'm going to put it against the function where x is equal to 0. And I want to make it as much of a tangent line to the function as I can. So it should only touch the graph at that point where x is equal to 0. Now everybody's graph is going to be slightly different. We're going to take a ruler, and you won't be able to see mine, but you'll be able to see the evidence of it when I draw the graph. I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to draw a tangent line very close to the actual tangent line. I'm putting my ruler against that function at where x equals 0, and I'm drawing a straight line. Now, when I pull my ruler away, you should see that line looks as though it only crosses that graph when x is equal to 0. And when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 4. So I'm going to label that point as the point 0, 4. Then I need to look along my graph and find another point that I can easily read across the graph. And sometimes you will have to estimate. For example, here, I'm going to choose that point, which looks like it's about -1, positive 1.5. Now, on your graph, you might find a different point that you can read. But again, we want to be able to do that as an approximation. It's not going to be exact. So we're going to find the slope between those 2 points. We're using the point 0, 4, and the point -1, 1.5. And I'm going to find the slope. 4 minus 1.5 divided by 0 minus -1. 4 minus 1.5 is 2.5. And 0 minus a -1 is positive 1. So that slope is 2.5. And I'm going to put that answer down in my chart down below. Now I want to do the same thing, only I want to do it when x is equal to 1. So I'm going to erase my tangent line that I have drawn here and my point that I chose, so that I have room to do the remaining problems. You will see on the notes online that I've given a different graph for each one of these so you could easily see them. So again, I will be choosing my ruler, and I'm going to put that ruler on the graph where x is equal to 1, and I'm going to make it as close to a tangent line as I can. And I'm going to draw my line. Now I'm going to look at that point where it crosses. That's the point 1, 4. And I want to find another point that I can easily read off the graph. And I'm going to choose this point down here, 3, positive 1/2. Again, your line might have a different point that you read. So now I'll find the slope between the point 1, 4 and the point 3.5. So 4 minus 0.5 over 1 minus 3. So 3.5 over negative 2, which is negative 1.75. And I'll write that in my chart below, 1.75. And I'm going to continue that for the number 2 and the number 3. So I will erase my tangent line, erase the points that I used, and I will get my ruler again. Each time I have to pull these up from a menu, that's why it takes a little bit. And I'm going to go to x equals 2. And I'm going to put my ruler as close to that as I can and draw a tangent line. Now, that tangent point is the point 2, 2. And I'm going to choose another point to read off the graph. Now, I'm going to choose this one. It's not quite exact, but I'm going to call that the point 3, 1. Again, we're just estimating. So I'm going to use the point 2, 2 and the point 3, 1. So 2 minus 1 over 2 minus 3. And I get 1 over negative 1, which is negative 1. And I'm going to do the same. Go through and erase my tangent line. Erase the points that I used. And now I'll find the equation of the tangent line at x equals 3. So again, I have to get my ruler. And I need to put it against that graph at x equals 3 and draw the tangent line. So now I've got that tangent line drawn. And the point of tangency is the point 3, 4. And I'm going to choose another point along that graph that I can easily read off the graph. And I'm going to choose this point at 2.5 and 1. So I'm going to be using the point 3, 4, and the point 2.5, 1. So my slope will be 4 minus 1 over 3 minus 2.5. So 3 divided by 0.5, which is 6. So now I have a table of values, and I can use that table of values to draw a new graph. Now that new graph will be the graph of the derivative. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to pull up the graph paper, and I can see that I have x values from 0 to 3, and I have y values that vary between almost negative 2 and positive 6. So I'm going to draw my vertical axis down the left-hand side of the page. My horizontal axis, I'm going to put a little lower than the middle so that I can reach up as high as positive 6, but down as low as negative 2. So I'm going to put my horizontal axis right there. Now, I need to go from 0 to 3, so I'm going to allow 5 boxes for each one. 1, 2, 3. And that's just so that I can spread that graph around the entire page. And I need to go up as high as 6, down as low as 2. So I'm going to use 2 boxes for every one. That allows me also to spread that graph, but also allows me to approximate those points a little bit better. We have the point 0, 2.5. I'm going to put these points in red. 0, 2.5. and we have 1, negative 1.75. So that'll be right there. At 2, it's negative 1. And at 3, it's at positive 6. Now, I want to connect those with as smooth a curve as I possibly can. I know that between 0 and 1, it's got to cross the x-axis. And between 2 and 3, it has to cross the x-axis. Again, because in both cases, it goes from above the axis to below or from below to above. I don't know exactly where it crosses, but I can approximate. I'm going to assume that it comes down like this. And from the positive 6, it's coming down like this. And I'm going to assume it goes just like that. Not great, but sort of okay. So now I'm going to take a look at that. I can see that my original graph, and let me pull this down so I can see it and you can see it. My original graph was increasing from negative infinity up to about here. And I'm going to say that's about 0.5. So my graph was increasing from 0 to about 0.5. Notice on my derivative graph, this graph is above the x-axis from negative infinity to about 0.5. This 0.5 on my original graph approximates where that graph crossed the x-axis for the derivative graph. Now, my graph crossed again here. In between those two, my graph was below the x-axis, and that was the region where my original graph is decreasing. It's decreasing from positive 1/2 to a little after 2. We'll call that maybe 2.3. So notice right here about 2.3 and about 0.5. My derivative graph is below the x-axis. My original graph is decreasing. Now, from that minimum, it's increasing from that approximately 2.3 to infinity. My derivative graph is above the x-axis. So what conclusions can I make? These are the things I can say. First of all, when f at x is increasing, f prime at x is positive. Number 2, when f at x is decreasing, f prime at x is negative. Now, this is the point I haven't talked about yet. When f at x is reaching a maximum or a minimum, the f prime at x is 0. So when a graph is increasing, its derivative is positive, which means above the x-axis. When the graph is decreasing, the derivative graph is negative or below the x-axis. And again, when it's increasing, the derivative graph is above the x-axis. So this says that f at x is increasing. F at x is increasing. Here, f at x is decreasing. And when it crosses the x-axis, those two places, f at x reached a max or a min. And we'll get into more detail about what that's doing later. I'm going to stop the video now, and we will do the rest of the packet in class.